welcome to 10-minute reviews. I'm 10, I guess your review. I don't know.
My view.
I don't know. Anyway. So, to get into it, what we do is we review books that we've actually read, as you can see.
Whee! Ah.
These are all notes. So we've actually read the books. We didn't go to Amazon and just look at what other people said that they thought about it. We read it ourselves.
Very much so. And it was a long read.
Not that bad.
Fun though.
Fun, yeah. So getting into the first book for our review, it is going to be The
Crazy One. Haha.
by Rebecca Marcus. And this was really a movie. It was really a movie. Okay, so to do what we
really you know what? You actually could define it as a movie. Have you ever seen a certain movie? What do you call it? Those women, white. What is it? White. What is it? Single white female. That's the one.
Yeah.
It's very much similar to this one. If you
I thought it
ask
was
me.
more similar to the one with the woman who boils the bunny.
I heard. Yeah, Fatal Attraction. That one
Yeah.
too. Even though we're not supposed to watch these movies, y'all.
It's more of a bunny boiler movie than a
Bunny Boiler.
Yeah, it's more of a bunny boiler movie than a single white female. But if I had to, so these are the little notes that we make for every book.
Yeah.
Like, you know, who's in it, who's the main characters.
Can you see that closer? So that way you guys can like.
When I started when we started reading it, so it was a 4-day read.
Like here. That's because she was very much into the book. She couldn't put it down.
It was a really good
So
book.
it took her 4 days.
Yeah.
Took me a little longer, but that's okay.
And this is, if it was a movie, who do we think would be? So I guess we should do that part at the end.
Yeah.
So rating wise, did I write a rating for this? Yeah. Rating wise, I would say this is a PG-13 if it was a movie. I'd say PG-13, like maybe a 16-year-old could watch it and not get scared, but perhaps a 10-year-old might say, I'm not going out with anyone ever again.
If you have a certain kind of mind though, where you like to see people go crazy, as just like this book is talking about, then this is for you too.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna think it's funny more so. I'm just gonna I
thought it was interesting.
I thought it was a little funny, but it's okay.
I wasn't laughing. I was like, let me make sure my stuff isn't on the internet. Actually, my name is Jane Doe, for anyone who's watching. Jane with a Y, Doe.
It's the fantasy. You can't help it. The lady is just sick. I
mean. Anyway, a review for how I think it was. This is a 10 out of 10. I would give it 10 out of 10 stars. I would read this again if this came out in theaters or Lifetime. I'd watch it
if it came out in theaters.
Yes. Yes. I was, but once we're done, we'll go into more about that.
Yeah.
So, just to give you a brief synopsis of what's happening, the main character, her name is Lucy Bonneville. I hope I'm saying her name right. She's the crazy one. So,
what?
Would you stop?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So,
go. Just tell the people.
She is the crazy one, and she is not alone, as you can see. So she is the crazy one. Now here's the interesting thing. The book starts off when she's obsessed with this rock star named Bo Castle. She's like hyper super obsessed with this man.
Yeah.
Not crazy, but obsessed. She's like watching his concerts, things like going to his concerts. And some stuff happens on a tour bus. We're not going to go into that. She doesn't actually get to meet Bo. But some stuff happens on the tour bus that makes you go like, wow, Lucy, I'm sorry for your life. But she kind of rebounds really quickly. So if she's the crazy one, she's also the rebounder one too. Because she doesn't stay down. She doesn't stay down for long. But she watches a Tonight Show kind of show. And she sees Bo on it. She DVR'd it so that she could see him specifically. As she's allowing it to play, she sees our new player in the book, Joel Ruskin. So when you think of Joel Ruskin, I'm going to give you 2 thoughts to think about when it comes to Joel Ruskin.
Go ahead.
Okay, so think about a Carson Daly. No. But think about a Carson Daly, Ryan Seacrest kind of personality. Like a TV host, kind of handsome in a kitschy way. Not that guy next door handsome. Like not. Okay, let me give you a better idea. So think about Ryan Seacrest as his personality. Think about Sebastian Stan as his face. Like, no? I see Sebastian Stan.
No.
You don't even know him.
No.
Do you know him?
Yeah, no. Those are like just two different people.
Not personality.
No, I know what you're saying, but the face, y'all, that doesn't meet up. Those two faces are not going to meet up.
As you see, we have different opinions.
Yes.
Which can happen when you read the same book.
Yes.
Same stone, different meaning. Okay, so I see Sebastian Stan.
Okay.
She sees someone else.
Yeah.
But he is this really quiet guy. Well, not quiet. Don't want to say quiet. He's a down-to-earth guy. Like, he's like an average guy.
I'll give that much.
But he is a TV host, so he's personable. He's nothing like Bo Castle, who's like, yeah, I'm a rock star. Pay attention to me. He's not that person. So she sees him on television by accident, and she begins to obsess slowly over him. Now, she starts to have these fantasies. And here's the interesting part.
Ooh.
That's not...
Go ahead. Don't tell all the book.
Anyway, she starts to have these fantasies where...
Yeah.
Okay, look.
Don't tell all.
She believes herself to be in a relationship. Now, she doesn't believe herself completely to be in a relationship.
Right.
I think everyone who's ever been lonely, who's ever wanted to be with someone, whether it's wanted to have a child, wanted to have a best friend, which I don't even know why, because or wanted to have a husband or a girlfriend or a partner. Anyone who's ever wanted to have someone has imagined at some point that they had that someone with them.
Well, you know what? And that's exactly the point, you all. Because just what she just said. Being lonely.
Yeah.
Because apparently she was very lonely because she has now showed a crazy on her end.
Anyway.
Don't you think? Because it's a lonely person. This woman...
But she's not exactly crazy just yet. She's lonely, but she's not exactly crazy just yet.
Okay. Listen, everybody. The woman is acting out fantasies in her own head.
In her head, yes. That's the key at the beginning of the book. But in her head. She knows it's not real.
But eventually, it becomes a part of, like...
But that's further
But
ahead.
the fact that she plays it out is real.
Okay, so yeah, so she starts to do that.
Mind.
That's when she's coming close to the crazy one, but she's not just crazy. She's not crazy just yet. And think about it. Have you ever gone to a bar? But like, she wasn't hurting anybody.
True, but you can't go too out there in the deep. Okay, to put yourself to say, even though I don't have it, and I know I don't have it, I'm going to go in ahead and do it anyway to pretend as if this person is waiting for me. Like, there's some things you just don't do.
Have you ever went to a bar, right? Went to a bar, went to Olive Garden.
I went to a bar.
We know. Have you ever... Before we started this video, apparently. But have you ever...
Hey, but I went to the Olive Garden too. I mean, but that bar scene
there too, yeah.
Yes.
So, have you ever gone somewhere by yourself, or even with other people, and imagined you were someone else? Imagine that you were one of the women from Sex and the City.
I ain't
or if you were a child and you imagined that you were one of the Avengers.
I ain't doing that either.
Or if...
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Or if you
But I know what y'all thinking. So I'm just stating what y'all thinking as well. But go ahead.
Anyway, so... That's what she did when she... It's this scene in the book, which I think is a very poignant scene because it starts to show a shift where she's in a mental relationship, remember, mental relationship,
right,
with Joel Ruskin, and she goes to the airport, pretending as though she is being picked up by him on a trip to New York, knowing full well she is not in New York. Now, here's the interesting thing. She is fully aware that these are fantasies. She has not broken yet. The rock of her mind is still intact. It's shattering, but it's still intact. And one point that brings that out, in the book, she goes to a bar. Well, not a bar, like a restaurant, a very fancy restaurant. And she orders something to drink. She orders a bottle of wine, and the waitress looks at her funny.
It's around in this area, y'all.
Yeah.
You can't really.
Is that around page 62?
62 and 63.
Yeah. So she goes to a bar, a restaurant, and she orders a bottle of wine, not a glass of wine, but a bottle of wine. And the waiter is like, "Oh, you need a whole bottle." She's like, "A woman can't enjoy a bottle of wine." Like, she had the presence of mind to become insulted. So she is aware that she's living out a fantasy in her head, and she's even aware enough of that fantasy to be annoyed by others, even if it's an outside element that gets in the way of said fantasy.
I can understand that too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes you just want to be left alone.
Yeah.
Alone to your thoughts, and you just have people that just come along and, you know.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be alone with your thoughts. Like, there's nothing wrong with a fantasy that doesn't hurt anyone. Like, in her fantasy, she wasn't killing anyone or harming. In her fantasy, she was in love and dating a famous person. And a lot of people fantasize about that. Although not many people go through the lengths of fantasies. You know, like, she paid for parking. She paid to go out. She paid for a hotel. Yeah. You know, most people don't expend fundage for that. So she really wasn't the crazy one, more so the obsessive one.
Right.
But there is a definitive shift in the book. I'm not going to say what it is, but when is it around?
Start to get closer into it.
Okay, so around chapter 19.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what happened.
Okay, because, yeah. Okay.
But around chapter 19 is when she goes from the obsessive. Don't let them see. But when she goes from the obsessive,
right,
to the crazy. There's a scene in it where she is in his home. I'm not going to tell you how she got in his home, where his home is. You have to read the book to find it out.
Yeah.
But she gets in his home. And the lines start to blur between what's reality and what isn't. And she actually becomes jealous of his girlfriend, like his for real girlfriend. If this was a movie, I'd honestly watch it. Like, if this was on Lifetime, I'd watch this.
I love Lifetime, so of course.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a Wii movie. Wii movies are a little bit, woo.
Well, at the same,
Wii movies are
Wii actually is kind of bordering on.
I don't think that it's the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same, but at the same time, it do kind of border.
It's kind of like if,
because there's another channel too that's kind of Hallmark. Hallmark.
That's what I was saying. It's like if Lifetime and Hallmark had a baby, it would be Wii, like a plain baby, like a really plain baby, like Meg from Family Guy baby. Like, I could just see we as a channel wearing like a weird beanie.
Meg from Family Guy.
Yeah. See, yeah. Just kind of there.
I mean, they got a little bit more than that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well,
did you want to go into who you think should play parts in the movie? I don't want to give any more away for the book.
No, I don't have a specific person in mind, because there's a lot of people who could really do this part.
Well, here's my list. So for Lucy, I would choose Anna Kendrick. I can see her as Lucy just because she's pretty, but she's not overly pretty. Like, you could walk past her in a crowd and you wouldn't really notice her per se. For Joel, like I said, I would choose Sebastian Stan just because he has the guy next door face. Okay. But it's still a handsome face. Now for Bo, I know Bo didn't have that big of a place in it, but I would say that Sam Claflin.
I don't know him.
He's the one from the Hunger Games who played Finnick.
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes.
Like I could see Bo as Finnick.
Yes,
like with the cheekbones and the swagger.
Just yes over it all. Yes for him. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Oh yes, 100 billion kajillion zillion %. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm kind of veering off a little bit, y'all. Sorry, but yeah.
Something we left out is that the person who is actually writing the book, his name is Elijah Reed. He is like a crime investigational author. So he writes the John Benet Ramsey, the Black Dahlia type books. He writes those kind of books. And so the whole premise of this book is that he brings a notebook to Lucy to write down in her own words why she did what she did. Because there's no spoiler to say she's in jail. At the beginning of the book, when everything starts, she's in prison. She is not walking around. She in jail. So he wants to find out why all this happens, and he interviews her friends and one of her friends, because she doesn't really have friends. She has people who tolerate her existence. We all have those people, and one of those people is Johnny, who is a girl that she works with, and Johnny in the book is described as everything that Lucy is not. She's pretty, she's outgoing, guys like her, she's the life of the party, and Lucy kind of lives vicariously through her. Yeah, wanting to be her, basically. Yeah. Wants her life. I can't go into too much detail myself either, so I'm trying to be as hushy-lip as possible. Yeah. I say Johnny would be Zendaya. Like, if you've seen Zendaya, you know Zendaya, right? From Disney Channel. So, Zendaya would make a good... Yeah, because she's brown in the book, and she's Hollywood aesthetically pleasing. So Hollywood aesthetically pleasing is probably thinner, taller, longer hair. I would say a fresh face. Just gives, with Lifetime, you just think of a fresh face. No. I'm meaning like, people that's really not known so much. I mean, I can see if you give it to like maybe one or two people that's known, but more so unknowns, to just give other people a chance to get out there, make some kind of debut, and show, what they can do. I mean, many people should be able to tap into it anyway. I think they do that all the time. But I don't even know. They do that in Lifetime anyway. They use fresh-faced people. You said if it was something that was to be viewed on Lifetime, to be watched, I don't see why not. So anyway, it was a really good book. I'm just saying. I would really recommend it. I recommend it too. We're gonna leave the website to get to it, so you can purchase it yourself from Amazon. Yeah. We're also gonna leave reviews for it ourselves on Amazon, Goodreads, and Barnes & Noble. So you want to show them a picture of the book again? Sure. Ooh, the crazy one. So it's called The Crazy One by Rebecca Marcus. And just as a side note, look at that cover. Yeah. Look at that cover. It's so vivid. Someone worked on this. I know how covers are made. I'm in that world. I live in that cover making world. I'm not a cover maker, but I know people who do. This is very vivid. Very good. So, yep, that'll be our first review. And thank you so much for checking in to 10-minute reviews. Though it was past 10 minutes. Yeah. What is your name again? I don't know. Bye. I'm the crazy one. That's what it is.